So today a package has arrived. I don't know what's in it, but it's something I paid for. So I've blotted out all the names and everything with a marker so there's no one's name there. So let's see what has arrived. I don't know what it is, but it had my name on it. And let's see. So I've got my unboxing knife. It's a small life raft knife with a little tiny hooked in end, designed for grabbing perfectly into packaging and cutting the tape. But yeah, I don't know what this is. Frankly, I don't know what happened. I think these may be those paws that I ordered from Etsy that took so goddamn long to order. An update on that is that I have the person say that I was harassing them, which I wasn't. I was asking and getting no reply, so obviously that sort of stuff does happen when you buy stuff and the seller does not actually reply for months on end. Apparently quarantined, but yet there was no, I can access my email on my phone and all that, and it's a cheap as phone. It's dirt cheap phone. But either way, I don't really hold any grudges to anyone, and I don't want to harass anyone. I never did. So obviously, I just get very careful when it comes to buying stuff from people. Especially, it's not that I hold anyone's to any kind of standard. It's just what it is. I'm odd. But the last video on how I reacted to the individual, I kind of think I went a little bit too hard. And yeah, so I think I know what this is because I can already see fibres sticking out. So we've got a package. I think I know what it is. Got a comb. Interesting little box. Let's put it aside. I hope that camera is properly recording everything. Close that. Close with a wire tie. Little. Those are actually kind of handy for holding things up. See what's we got. Oh. Kind of simple, but let's see if they actually fit my hands. They don't even fit my hands. Oof. These are too big for these. So I did actually manage to get these on. One of them at least, because they're very tight of fit. They do look cool, but yeah, I'm just going to say this. They're way too tight. And yeah, I'm just going to give these to some kid or something. And yeah, they still look cool, but practicality is, they're not stitched around the edges here. Yeah, still, someone could have done a better job of this. Yeah. Well, that is a complete and utter fluff up. They don't fit my hands. So, I'm going to have to give these away to someone. I don't know who, but yeah. Frankly, that's a bit of a... Yeah, I paid a lot of money for these and they're not even that good. But I got what I paid for, but instead of having to go through all the hassle of sending them back just to get my money, I'm going to give them away to someone else. I don't know who, frankly. Yeah, so quality of them, they're not that good. Like, I'll actually take a good look at them and Like, yeah, there's... They don't have any kind of inner lining to the material. It's not even stitched up at the ends. So that's going to fray away really quickly. Don't even know what they use for the paw pads themselves. But, yeah. Like, they look cool. Like, you could probably make these into decent ones for someone of a smaller size. Like, single stitched. Yeah. So this is why I don't like buying stuff from Etsy, frankly, when it comes to handmade stuff, because you just don't know what you're going to get. And yeah, like, yeah, so still going to be a 1-star for all this sort of stuff. And I got them, but they're just, it's not worth it. You're better going with somewhere that's actually like trying to find someone that will have better communication. And yeah, what I will say is, if this person is new to making fursuits and all that, keep at it. Obviously, I will point out faults when I see them, such as, for instance, this. I don't even know what this is. Like, maybe in the comment section you could tell me what the fluff this is. It's supposed to be like a... Whoops-a-daisies, whatever that was. Whatever this is, it's held together with hot glue to the looks of it. Yep, hot glue. That's typical with most fursuit makers. Like, it's a fairly coarse underside, if you can see that. So, they wouldn't be that comfortable to wear. But they needed to have a lining. They needed to have, likely the end, at least folding the ends in like that and then stitching along them. But usually when you see like a shirt that has the end of a piece of fabric, can't remember what they call that, but it's usually just like a little strip of fabric. They fold it over the end and they sew it down with a sewing machine or by hand if you have to. And it's, yeah, this is obviously very simply made, and to be straightforward and to be frank, these aren't that good quality. If this person is just getting into fursuit making though, I want them to know that I am not hard on you. I'm just trying to point out obvious things when you're making fursuits, and I know people who do. And as you've known for a while, I'm getting a fursuit, so I thought I'd just get a few small furry things. Yeah, there's these all like, it's kind of like someone just kind of made them and then just threw them into the bag and then just, yeah. They didn't have much, yeah. This is obviously why when you hear of these brands, these fursuit makers, and you've never heard of them, it's best to try and look them up when you do get them. So I am obviously, I'm not completely disappointed. I am kind of at least that I got what I paid for. But, you know, they're not that good of quality, unfortunately, and they don't even fit my hands. Most of them have some degree of give. These don't. Best thing I can say is at least the person tried. Yeah. I'm going to give these to someone that they fit. And yeah, I'm not completely disappointed. I'm just, you know, yeah, they aren't that good at quality, unfortunately, being seen for most. So that's why I have been planning. That's why I have got a pair of fursuit paws coming in the mail now from the dealer's den that I found on sale, and they are actually quite nice looking ones compared to these now. So the ones that they were advertising for sale what they looked like good quality, and now I know what they're doing, and it's kind of a bit sad, is they upload a picture of someone else's fursuits that they've made, or fursuit paws, and they don't look that good. They look real good, the ones that they're using as photos, is what I'm saying. And you don't know who these pictures are from. And yeah, I really have to say this. That's kind of sad to do that. Use your own products if you're selling them, not someone else's. Use your own photos from your own products, because that is a really sleazy technique. It's a really sleazy tactic. If you're just getting a pair of fursuit paws, buy pairs that are pre-made, that you know the sizes are, that they specify if they're small, medium, or large. This is kind of typical, unfortunately, in the fandom when it comes to certain people. At least the individual gave a couple spare claws and a comb, which is quite nice. And thought, which, that is something that should be that's usually typically done. But I'm just going to give these to someone else that will appreciate them, some other kid. But yeah, that's why Etsy, unfortunately, is not that good for furry stuff. There's a lot of people, and there are probably some really good fursuit makers on Etsy. I'm not completely saying that everyone on Etsy is bad at making stuff. There's probably some really amazing people. Unfortunately, a lot of people these days seem to just put their stuff up for sale, and they seem to forget that using someone else's picture is kind of, in a way, just, a rip-off. So don't buy stuff unless you actually have 100% sure that you're going to get what they are showing you. It's kind of a form of a scam in my mind still. It is kind of misleading, and that's most of my criticisms on all this. So when it comes towards buying stuff like that, just look at trying to keep the price in mind. Also look for a decent makers and all that, ones that out there. Obviously be mindful that these things are going to be expensive. Don't make that mistake that I just did by going on Etsy and getting something that they don't actually show. I should actually just look through stock images of fursuit paws, and I bet you those would probably come up, the ones they used. So yeah. To anyone who makes fursuit paws or anything else, whatever you do, use your own images. Even if the products aren't that good, it's better than doing that. It's better than doing what these people have done. So essentially what I can understand from all this is they'll pay people to do positive reviews or something. You never know. I could be lying about that. I don't know for certain. But when you buy something, you've got to keep in mind that people will do a lot of sleazy tactics to try and up their sales and all that, by having positive reviewers try and get people to do positive reviews and all that. But I'm a person who's just going to be frank and straight with it. Those aren't that good a quality. They could have done much better. Even if they were done better and they were still too small for my hands, I would have been at least a bit more positive about it. But yeah, I don't like having to do that, especially in a fandom that I am very involved in, and that's why I'm really kind of a person who will crack down on people who just try to use the fandom, or essentially they're just, I'm not saying that every one of these people are bad or they're terrible people. I just think that they just, I think it's enough of me ranting. These products, unfortunately, there's there's a lot of amazing fursuit makers and people out there who are selling pre-made stuff. As I'll say, go to the dealers den. It took me a while to set up an account there and to buy something, but I'd rather use something that's actually made for the fandom for this exact purpose, buying stuff. Yeah, I'm not so much disappointed. I'm just kind of, that it seems like someone didn't really put much effort into that. It's not that good of a product. Yeah, so if I would have done the fursuit paw pads, I would have actually used a fabric that was of that colour and not painted it, which is what they've done. They actually painted the fabric that colour, which they're not going to last that long. No. So, yeah. I don't like trying to come down hard, and I did not harass this individual if they claim to. I was just going, where are my fursuit paws? They did not say anything if they'd mailed them or anything, but they finally came with their response and saying that they'd had like 2 or 3 weeks of processing time. So, yeah. Funny how I was able to get up here, and the next day the individual contacted me and sent me a picture of the receipt of them shipping it. So, yeah. Won't show any of that sort of stuff because I don't want them to have any problems with that. But yeah, just be careful of this sort of stuff. Kind of a bit sad that they didn't really, yeah. So, in hindsight, for anyone, when it comes to me purchasing, I'm just going to be looking more into the histories of these individuals, and I've obviously told people to essentially look out for these types of people. So yeah. So I do hope you have a great day, and to whoever this maker is, no hard feelings, just practice more, make better fursuits, and be more specific with what you're selling, because if you don't, then it's not going to be worth selling your product if no one can actually identify what it is, and also the size of the product. Small, medium, large. So you'd measure the hands, width and height, and determine, if it's a small, medium, or large. And they didn't have anything there to tell me, what I was getting in terms of that. So they did say that they would be large and all that, for what I can able to see, and I'm sure that the seller will, so I'm not going to bother with the seller anymore. I'm not going to contact them. They're just, obviously you know who they are. I've shown photos, you know who the maker is. I don't want you going after them. I just want you to know who they are, and maybe this may teach them a bit of a lesson in selling stuff. You've got to do things right, or otherwise people will essentially just not trust you in terms of sales. So yeah, have a good day. I just hope that the next person who buys stuff from there actually thinks a little bit more and knows that stuff on Etsy can be very misleading and unfortunately not as well made as, kind of makes, unfortunately, the fandom look bad. So, yeah. I hope you have a good day, and to this maker, I don't want you to stop making stuff. I want you just to get better at it. And no harsh feelings to you. I've made things for a long time, and I always took in positive feed into this. So, yeah. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. So yeah, I hope you have a good day and see us around.